The conviction of former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak presents a renewed hope for Malaysians who voted the ex-leader out of power 2 years ago, the country's top opposition political leader said Wednesday. Najib was sentenced to 12 years in jail and handed a fine of 210 million Malaysian ringgit, $49.3 million, after he was found guilty of all 7 charges in the first of his 5 trials linked to the financial scandal at state-owned Fund 1 Malaysia Development Berhad, or 1MDB. It is a renewed hope for Malaysians in general who were upset with the recent political development, but at least they believe now that the climate for change and, finally, the voice of the people must be heard, Anwar Ibrahim, the opposition leader, told CNBC's Squawk Box Asia. Some observers and analysts said the fall of Najib, a former top political office holder, in the court of law was a rare occurrence in Southeast Asian politics and an important one in Malaysia's long battle against corruption. Former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak made history when he became the country's highest-ranking official ever to be convicted in court, said Francis Hutchinson, senior fellow and coordinator at the Malaysia Studies program at Singaporean think tank ISEAS-Yusof Ishak Institute. The multi-billion-dollar scandal at 1MDB, which involved Wall Street banking giant Goldman Sachs and Hollywood, made international headlines and involved investigations by at least 6 countries. Najib's alleged role in siphoning around 4 billion ringgit, nearly $1 billion, out of the state fund partly contributed to the defeat of his political coalition in the 2018 general elections. The 67-year-old Najib, who served as Malaysia's 6th prime minister, faces a total of 42 charges in 5 separate trials. The charges include money laundering, abuse of power and criminal breach of trust. On Tuesday, the former prime minister was granted bail and a stay of execution on both the jail term and fine. He had indicated that he would appeal the verdict. Anwar said there were some concerns that the appeal process could result in an overturn of Najib's conviction. He explained that while the country's Chief Justice is known to be protective of the judiciary's independence, I don't necessarily feel this is being shared by all her colleagues in the top echelon of the judiciary. So we hope for the best, he added. Still, analysts hailed the ruling as a landmark decision. This is the first time in Malaysia's history that an ex-prime minister has been charged in court for abuse of power and corruption, said James Chin, director of Asia Institute Tasmania at the University of Tasmania in Australia. For a very long time, not only in Malaysia but in the whole region, it was widely understood in an unwritten rule that if you made it to the number 1 political office, you normally are protected from abuse of power prosecution.